From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, August 30th, 2014. Silver is trading at $19.48 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,287 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $504. AntiWarcom reports Ukraine's government continues to escalate its claims of a Russian invasion, now insisting that there are several thousand Russian troops backed by tanks and artillery and mysteriously totally unphotographed in eastern Ukraine. The Eastern Civil War continues along the nation's southeast coastline, where rebels are advancing on the key Donetsk province port of Mariupol. Hundreds of rebels were photographed making their way towards Mariupol, but again, none of the thousands of Russians were seen. The Ukrainian military is now picking up calls for a dramatic increase in NATO shipments of weapons and ammunition, saying they have not been providing any weapons to the troops invading the breakaway east. Ukraine also wants to become a member of NATO now, because then, when they come up with their dubious claims of a Russian invasion, it would immediately start World War III. NATO, needless to say, has not generally admitted members with existing territorial disputes and would not consider Ukraine specifically because doing so would quickly escalate into a massive war. Incredibly, while the non-credible invasion claims continue to circulate, Presidents Putin and Poroshenko met and worked out a deal on more shipments of humanitarian aid into Ukraine's east. Russia will provide future aid by rail. The last humanitarian aid shipments Russia made, last Friday by truck, were also dubbed an invasion by Ukrainian officials. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. USA Today reports a federal judge on Friday struck down a major provision of a strict abortion law in Texas that would have forced all but a handful of clinics to close next week. The law, passed last year by the Republican legislature, required abortion facilities to meet hospital-level building standards. But U.S. District Judge Lee Yeakel ruled that the requirements violated a woman's right to terminate her pregnancy. Yeakel wrote that the law's ambulatory surgical center requirements burdens Texas women in a way incompatible with the principles of personal freedom and privacy protected by the U.S. Constitution for the 40 years since Roe v. Wade. He blocked the provisions from taking effect on Monday. The law regulated the size of rooms and doorways and required pipelines for anesthesia. The Texas Tribune noted that 6 abortion clinics, all in big cities, meet the requirements. In the spirit of Motorhome Diaries and Liberty on Tour, I intend to take the message of peace, love, and liberty on the road. During the 104-day trip, I'll be visiting at least 10 cities across the country, speaking to people about the ideas of peace, love, and liberty. To find out more about the tour or to donate, visit tour.fppradio.com. That's tour.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a police officer has resigned after pointing a rifle at protesters and members of the media during protest in Ferguson, Missouri, and another has been fired for inappropriate social media posts stemming from the 2 weeks of civil unrest. Protest erupted in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson after police officer Darren Wilson shot and killed 18-year-old Michael Brown on August 9th. Police and demonstrators in Ferguson clashed nightly for days after the shooting, with authorities coming under fire for mass arrest and what critics said were the use of heavy-handed tactics and military gear. At a protest on August 19th, Ray Albers, a police officer in the neighboring community of St. Anne, pointed his rifle at protesters and members of the media during a heated verbal exchange, an episode that was captured on video and circulated widely on social media. Albers, at the time, earned the nickname Officer Go F Yourself for telling the crowd to go F themselves when asked for his name. St. Anne Police Chief Aaron Jimenez said Albers, a 20-year veteran of the force, submitted his resignation on Thursday after the municipality's Police Board of Commissioners recommended that he resign due to the incident in Ferguson and for 3 prior disciplinary actions. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.